Listen to me. There comes a moment in your life when you can feel yourself shifting. You're not who you used to be. That version of you has expired. But you're also not fully who you're becoming. You're standing in the hallway between two identities, and nothing in that hallway feels familiar. The old you is too small now. The new you isn't fully formed yet. And that space in between, that's where the pressure lives. That's where the confusion shows up. That's where the silence gets loud. That's where your emotions start arguing with your evolution. But hear me. This is not failure. This is formation. This is the construction zone of your next identity. This is where your habits get tested, your faith gets stretched, and your character gets built. This is where you learn to stop running back to what's comfortable and start walking toward what's calling you. And if you can survive this season, if you can breathe through this tension, if you can stay grounded while everything in you wants to go back, you won't just change. You'll evolve. Welcome to the uncomfortable middle. Welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets.
Greetings and welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Don't miss out. After a week full of noise, constant confusion, and distraction, this is the show that cuts through the clutter. It's the hour of the week where real talk meets real truth. We bring conversations that challenge the status quo and stir something deeper in the soul. This isn't just commentary, it's clarity, purpose, and elevation. When you tune in, you're not just watching, you're waking up. A place where common sense still matters and lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, this is the world premiere Word on the Streets. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Put your hearts and hands together for the man who discovered his purpose and lives it loud, Larry Extraordinaire Moulton. And Mr. Gotta Get Your Mind Right and Open Your Eyes to the Blind Truth, the motivator himself, the amazing Keith Fletcher. And the man who brings clarity to chaos with the voice of reason you can't ignore, the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig. Make no mistake, there is no word without our host. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to the message. Welcome to the world premiere, Word on the Streets.
And good evening, good evening. Good evening once again, everyone. Good evening once again, and welcome back. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the world premiere, Word on the Streets. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Extraordinaire. And these gentlemen, you all should know them by now. They are a household name. In fact, you all already know in this community, there is no world premiere Word on the Streets without the amazing Mr. Keith Fletcher, the man who created The Blind Truth, the man who's live on Facebook 2 and 3 times a week, the man who beat stage 4 cancer. Brothers, sisters, we can't say enough how much we appreciate and value him being here, right here with you and I, each and every Thursday. Show some love for the one and only, the amazing Mr. Keith Fletcher. Yeah. And you all know this brother. You all got to know this brother here, because when things seem uncomfortable, getting out of hand, this brother always come in with his velvet voice and bring reasons to chaos. But he just doesn't do it here. He does it on his job. The brother got a corporate job, but that's not new to him. That's who he is. Everywhere he go, he take his character with him. His character walk in the room before he does. And in the summertime, when everybody kicking back, having a grand old time. He's having a grand time too, but he's sacrificing his personal time to be a strong influence and impact on the youth of today. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all got to show this brother some love. The one and only Mr. Vincent Craig.
Good evening. Thank you for that, extraordinaire.
It's just easy to say the truth, man. It's easy to say the truth. Fletcher, you, and myself, brothers and sister community, let me tell you, you all know me too by now. I've, it may not seem like much to a person who haven't gone through a divorce, but surviving divorce, surviving jobs, surviving life up until this point, and now retired, reestablishing a new life, and after being in the career world most of your life, and now you in a new world, and you having to adjust and grow. That's who we all are. That's who the three of us are, and that's why we on here tonight. And that's why this topic is so timely. The middle, this being stuck in the middle, the uncomfortable middle. That's the topics of tonight, friends. You see, my life is right there, right now, that uncomfortable middle. Been working all these years. Now I'm no longer getting up, having to drive through all of that traffic, go to work, manage other people, be organized, put system in place, hire, fire, scheduling. That was then, but this is now. And it just doesn't apply to work. You see, because you all know by now in life, if you live in life like we are, Life University, it does nothing stay neat in one place. Whatever is affecting you in one place, you already know, friends. It spills over into another place. And so this uncomfortable middle in my life spills over into my home life, my personal life. Someone who's been gone most of the day, all hours. And now I'm this extra energy in the house. See, the house was moving, had a different rhythm and vibe when I was gone for 12 hours, 14 hours. But now the house have to get adjusted to this new energy in the house. The uncomfortable middle. I just wanted to open this thing up, brothers, and I just opened it up with my slice of the pie to the puzzle. But thank everybody for tuning in. This is the world premiere Word on the Street. And we're going to get right to it. Before we dive deep in it, friends, if y'all want to pull back a little bit and just have a slow introduction, let your hair down, get comfortable, that's all good and fine too. But I'm just happy that I wanted to share that introduction with all of you all out there as a testament to my trueness of what I'm dealing with and where I am. And hopefully it is connected with someone out there just the same. Anybody, talk to me.
No, I'll go ahead and start it out, man. Thank you, everyone that'll be joining tonight. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, extraordinaire, for putting this together, being transparent over the time that we've been on this show. Thank you, Selena, for joining us tonight. Glad to have you on board. As always, faithful follower. I'd like to start off with that. I was going through the blog and it was saying the old doesn't fit anymore, the identity gap.
That's right.
And again, I'd like to kind of put 2 Corinthians 5:17, therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. All things have become new. So I look at that and it's just like I look at a butterfly and I look at the cocoon, like there's an ugly state that we have to go through, right? It's not always going to be pretty. I look at how the actual butterfly starts from, unless you just like weird stuff, looking at the cocoon and looking at how it transitions into the next phase of life and it starts to become a butterfly. People appreciate the butterfly, but they don't always appreciate the work that the butterfly had to go through in order to get there. Take a diamond. You got to put pressure on it from where it starts in order for it to become a diamond. There is going to be a rough and a hard transitional period where it's going to be heat, where all the elements are going to come up and get out of you, right? So for me, I'll just start there because, again, I always like to say there's going to be a lot of conversation and there's going to be a lot of meat on this bone. So back to you, Keith and Larry.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I want to thank y'all brothers, man. Starting there, great intro. Starting out, introducing that you do well with the with all these philosophies, I've said, giving that word to us, man. We appreciate that, giving that scripture to the old, from the old become the new. I love that, man. Thank y'all. And also, Selena and all our followers, thank you for showing. If you're here right now, please hit the like button, share this, and tell a friend to tell a friend. The middle is something that's called a messy middle. You know what I'm saying? It seems like I'm always in the middle. I'm always in the middle of something. And in that middle, it's always something like, because it's confusing. You know what I'm saying? When you get something, just think about when you get something new and you're so excited. You know what I'm saying? You're so excited and you rush into it and you start working on it and you start getting to a place, then you get to a stop. You get to a chaos. You get to uneasiness, that middle, that messy middle. You know what I'm saying? Life, they call it when you get into the 30s. You know what I'm saying? You come from your 20s to go to a new decade to the 30s. In your 30s, between your 40s and your 30s, it's the messy middle. You learning so much in that between that 30 and your 40. So many things coming at you. You have to become a man or a woman in that middle. Your kids coming, you get elevation. Your mind start growing. All these things are happening in that messy middle. In the eye of the storm, they tell you you're in the eye of the storm, the middle of the storm. That meant there's so much things that's coming at you in that middle. And we so confused, we so lost, we so stuck. We need a calming place in that middle. We're trying to figure out in the middle where the calm place in that messy middle. Like Strawdell said, coming home, you know what I'm saying, now from work, you've been working all these years, then you come home to be in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
How do I fit in? Where do I fit?
Right.
You know, I've been through that, like losing my eyesight, going through stage 4, going through these things. Where do I fit in now? Here, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure that out in that middle. There's a lot going on in that middle. Like
There's a lot going on in that middle.
Yeah, got some meat on that middle, yeah.
It is a lot going on in that middle because you see now we could focus just on ourselves, and that's important, and we're going to do that. But in that middle also is a uncomfortableness and disruption, as I said, in the household too, because if your body, your personality haven't been in a home for those 12 or 14 hours, and now all of a sudden it is, that's a disruption in whatever harmony, whatever organization, whatever scheduling, whatever was going on. Your mere presence is a disruption now. It creates some uncomfortableness. It's that, like we said, it's that sticky middle. And also that you see that sticky middle, think about it, brothers, in community. So now you have outside disruption as well as your inner self. Yourself you're the one in the middle. And when you're in the middle, you're not that old person you used to be, but you haven't quite arrived to be that person that you saw in your mind that you hope to be. You haven't even seen the fruits of it yet, but you're so tired of what you was, and now you're in the middle. You in a stage where you just if you're traveling somewhere, you're 1,000 miles from where you were, but you're also 1,000 miles from where you need to get to. And all you can see, I mean, a lot of people just drop it. A lot of people just give up in that middle. You all heard of the 7 year itch, and a lot of marriages, people they dated whatever, they've been married for that 7 year, or somewhere around that 7 year, where you can kind of sort of figure that person out, and it kind of seem like, oh man, this what it's gonna be. I can't fathom the next 7 years. I mean, I got a clearer picture what I got here now, and oh, you know, middle. That middle is a pretty difficult place to be in. And when you're setting goals for your life, we're a progressive platform here. We're three gentlemen who are all go-getters. We're three gentlemen who have gone through divorce. So that by nature, we on this platform. We got one of us still in the workforce, both of us retired, but we both, if you talk to any of us, listen to any of our shows, we're very ambitious people. But can you imagine just being being as ambitious as we are and have not yet arrived to the area that we want to arrive to? We're in that middle. Oftentimes, we have to have self-talk with ourselves, and we have to call each other to encourage us and keep us refocused, because we on that island. Remember that island? We're 1,000 miles from where we were, but we are also 1,000 miles from where we want to get to. That middle. And many of you all out there, you in that middle, and you probably say, "Man, this look, I don't even want to deal with it." So rather than deal with it and move forward, I'm gonna just sit here and be comfortable. At least I know this where sadly so many people end up doing. I know what my yesterday was. I can work that thing. I know this program front and backwards. And you don't have to grow there. And you do know it. You're you're very efficient doing what you've always done, knowing what you always knew, not growing. That's a comfortable place to be. But if you really want to experience life, life requires growth, evolution. And I'm gonna stop there because it is so much meat for us to dig into. Brother, somebody grab me an umbrella. Let me get out this rain so one of y'all could get in the rain. Talk to me.
Gotcha. Tag, I'm it. So for me, I try not to interrupt, so I always like to write my stuff down. So if y'all see me looking down, I apologize. I want to give people the respect so they can talk, but I also want to not lose my thoughts, so I tend to write stuff down. Uh,
Same here.
so for me, I was writing down, like, there's three phases, right? Like, and I like to break them down in different analogies. Growth doesn't always look pretty, right? Sometimes the best part is in the middle. Like, I'm eating a Twinkie, right? Best part to me is the filling. The filling is in the middle. Sometimes you can't appreciate it until you get done. I take it in preparation for like a game. There's the practice, there's the game itself, and there's the final score. Depending on where you're at in life, the practice is supposed to be hard because it's supposed to prepare you. So when you get to the game is supposed to be easy because you've gone over everything that you should have. So sometimes the middle, sometimes things could be out of order, but it just depends on where you're at in life. There's nothing wrong with the middle, but you still have to go through that phase. You have to go through the fire in order to go. So I like to say preparation and practice, the game itself, and then the final score, right? Again, when me and Keith coached, we wanted to make sure the kids were prepared. So we wanted to make sure they practice, 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 practice. So by the time the game came, it's like, oh, everything that we've learned has prepared us for this. And then we look at the final score at the end, right? So I looked at I wrote down, I said, sometimes depending on the situation, the middle may be the best part, but you may not appreciate it until the end or at the end of the phase. I said, start the journey, but then the journey itself is the middle. If we've all taken a long road trip, right? It depends on where you're at and who you are. You got to gas up, you got to get rest. You got to drive 10, 12 hours, right? Some people like the view and some people like the scenic route. Some people just want to just get to the destination. But again, it's the destination for some that they want to see that scenery. Some people just like, look, just get me there. And after 12 hours in the car, you're like, man, I finally made it. That's how it is in life, right? We've all evolved into something new. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know if Keith said it or someone said it a while back, and it wasn't on the show, or it could have been on the show. It was like, depending on where you are, we have more life behind us than we do ahead of us, right? Depending on if you're going to live to be 100 and something now at our age, right? Again, we're a continued work in progress. It's never going to be pretty, but then we can look back, especially for those that journal. Sometimes you got to journal to look to see where you were off in that middle part. Because I know when I was going through my divorce, I journaled. For y'all that don't know, I write poetry too. It's just I used to be in poetry contests. I have a couple of things that's been published. My goal was to write a poem a day. This way I can have 365, right? Didn't finish it. It's on the vision board. But again, it's the journey. Stuff isn't going to always look pretty when you're going through it. You hear people say, fake it to make it, faith it to make it. You got to go through the transition. As you know, when you work out, there's no growth and comfort. Your muscle is not going to build unless you tear it down, rehydrate, get the muscle, or get the rest and get the recovery. So you got to go through it in order to get to it. I'll repeat that. You got to go through it in order to get to it. Back to you, Keith and Larry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like being on this stage with these guys, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, me on this stage, man, these smart guys, these guys they really are, man. They really are some smart, intelligent guy. They listen to Vince, the things he talk about. Vince is a very driven, structured guy. Extraordinaire. Same way, extraordinaire. Like he told me one time, he wrote a check to himself. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying these dreams and plans that they had, I didn't have none of those. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have none of those. So I like to talk. When I'm telling you, I'm telling you stuff from experience. So I deal with life. And I'm not saying they not, they philosopher. They good at what they saying. But to me, that makes you know, when you're young, like my kid, you 20 years old, you 18, 19, 20, you thinking about what hour you going to have. You thinking about the destination. You think about what you're going to have in life, your family, your kids, your cars, the houses, the jewelry, the money. You're going to have all these things. I'm going to be a professional football player. I'm gonna be a track. I'm gonna be a poet. I'm gonna be all these things that you said that you're gonna be. And you get in them 20s, you start striving to those things. And then you get them 20 things in life. You having fun. I got time. I got time. You start doing these things. You meet the woman. It start happening for you. Then you get in your 30s. You get the kids and all that. And then pause. Pause. And you're at a place where you're saying like, wait a minute. I got this, but it don't feel like my dreams and my aspirations, not what I said. You know, I got the kids, I got the house, I got the car, but it still don't feel like I'm there. Then you start looking to your left, and you start looking to your right, and you start seeing, and you start looking at other things and say, well, why I'm not there? Then you start judging yourself. Then you start doing changes, and then now, that's that middle. Now you in that middle. Now you trying to figure out some things. You're not understanding what was it my fault that I didn't write, like Vince said, I didn't write these things down. You can't go back and look because you just was moving. You just know thinking things that's gonna happen by stuff that's just gonna be there. It's gonna, I know, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna make my wife, my marriage my woman gonna be understanding. My kids gonna be great. My mother, all these things, the job I'm gonna have, all these things gonna be. And you gonna look and say, I'm not where I thought I would be. You're in your 30s. And you in the middle. You don't know you in the middle. You know why you don't know you're in the middle? You don't know why you don't know. Because most people don't hit their run till they about in their 50s. Most people don't hit their destination until they about in their 50s, when you start making the income, making money, but you haven't been told that.
Mhm.
You never plan. See, when you get in the car, like you said, you got to know where you at and then know where you're going. You on a trip, you have a destination, but you plan. Okay, we're going to stop at this place. I need this gas at this place. We're going to get food to here. We got a sandwich. You got all these things, hey. But see, when you back then, you never really wrote down the plan. You never put a motor protection around you. You never in life. We play sports like Ben said. When we give the kids, we always planning. We always writing stuff. We always practicing. We for this and that. If this come do this, if they do this, they put their hands here and do this. But in life, we don't. We just think it's going to naturally happen. And then when we get to this one point, that middle, we get to that one point that you done made the money you made, but you didn't know how to manage your money. And now you're living above your means. You said, "Hey man, when I want to make $100,000, and you make that $100,000, but that $100,000 don't fit where you at. Well, I need to make more, and it's never enough because you didn't plan for it. You didn't plan for anything. You didn't plan that your wife would get sick. You didn't plan that the kids, all these things that you didn't see coming before because you didn't plan. How can you? You didn't know. That's that middle, man. That's that middle that you have, and when everything going wrong, and then some kind of way after a while you start getting out of it. You start, man, you done went through it. You from your 30s to your, till you did a decade inside that. You done learned some things. You done felt some things. You done went through some things. You done came through some things. You done made it from in the beginning of the storm, in the outer middle, in the middle, then you came out the storm and you still throwing things at you, but you made it out of it. Now, what do you do? That's that middle. I mean, I said, like I said, I just didn't realize all these things happen to me. I ain't talking about none of y'all, but these things happen to me. That was for me. That was for me. That's for me.
Well, world premiere word on the street community. We are in the middle right now. We're going to take a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere, friends. But while we're at it, do us a small favor. Take a few moments to hit and subscribe. Support us and share the word. Let your friends know and let your coworkers know to tune in to World Premiere Word on the Streets. Let them know we go live every Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. We're going to take a small commercial break, but we're going to dive back in it hard and heavy and going to pick up where Fletcher, Vincent, and myself left off at. We're going to talk about discipline. We're going to talk about purpose. We're going to talk about that messy, uncomfortable middle. So don't go anywhere, friend. Just pull up your chair and get a little closer.
All right, family. Now it's time to go deeper. This is the moment where we peel back the layers, challenge old thinking, and get real about what's truly holding us back and what can finally push us forward. So grab your journals, lean in, and don't just listen, engage. And if something resonates with you tonight, do us a favor, subscribe, like, and share this message with someone who needs it. Because the conversation we're having is bigger than us. This is the world premiere word on the streets.
Family, let me talk to the part of you that's tired of being in between. The part of you that feels stretched, pulled, and uncertain. The part of you that knows you can't go back to who you were, but you're not fully confident stepping into who you're becoming. That tension you feel, that's not weakness. That's evidence. Evidence that you're growing. Evidence that something in you is shifting. Evidence that your spirit is outgrowing the rooms your past built for you. And that silence you're sitting in, that's not abandonment. That's alignment. That's where clarity is being born. That's where your future starts whispering instructions your past can't understand. That's where God, purpose, and identity start rearranging things behind the scenes. And that discomfort you're wrestling with, that's not confusion. That's construction. That's your identity being recalibrated. That's your habits being challenged. That's your mindset being upgraded. That's your old self losing its grip while your new self gains its footing. Listen, you're not losing yourself.
You're shedding the version of you that was built in survival. You're not stuck. You're being rebuilt. You're not confused. You're being reintroduced to the person you were always meant to be. The uncomfortable middle is where your spirit learns to trust again. It's where your mind learns to focus again.
All right, family. Keep those comments coming. We value every single one of them. Now tighten that seatbelt and get ready to get locked back into part 2 of The Uncomfortable Middle, when you're no longer who you were, but not yet who you're becoming. Let's get back to work.
Yes, let's get back into it, brothers. Let's get back into a world premiere Word on the Streets, talking about this uncomfortable middle. Before we went on break, Fletcher and Vincent and myself, we were really talking about a lot. And if you would, community, if any of you all out there retired, and you may feel like you're in the middle right now because this is new for you. All of your life, you've been doing one thing, going to work. You went from graduating from school, got a job, and that is who you were, who you've been. But now you're no longer going to that job. And see, this middle is an opportunity. And you all know opportunity is one of my favorite words in the human lexicon. Because it truly is an opportunity, friends. This middle, if we can give ourselves the notion that it's an opportunity to really, truly discover who you are. So many of us work on a job so long, Vincent and Fletcher, until we start buying into the idea and concept that we are what we've been doing for the past 20 to 30 years. We start buying into the idea that that's who we are, never ever having the chance or the opportunity to sit still long enough to focus inwardly on yourself long enough to know who you are. So retirement is an opportunity for you to finally settle down. Instead of complaining about this island that you find yourself on in the middle, if you sit still long enough, you may stumble upon your real purpose in life. And when you and your purpose meet each other, you will discover that the 12 hours you was putting on the job, it would be nothing for you to put 24 hours in on your purpose, because your purpose is it's you. It's like meeting you. You finally get a chance to meet you. And so you have a lot of catching up to do when you finally meet yourself. But in order to do that, it requires discipline. Discipline to sit still long enough. Discipline to take off that old person that you were for the past 20 years. And that's easy for me to pronounce. It's easy for me to say. It's easy for you to read about. It's a challenge. Discipline is where so many of us fall off. It's been said that discipline can solve 80% of most of our problems. So this is just a part of the puzzle that we're talking about tonight to help somebody out there checking in on this program. You in that uncomfortable middle? One of my caveats is to try discipline for yourself. It's working for me. I'm not who and where I want to be, but I'm so much better than who and what I was. some discipline in my life, some guardrails, some structure, a left and a right, and to accept the fact I'm no longer that person that worked that job. That was me then. This is who I am now. Talk to me, somebody.
No, I'll pick up the slack here. Thanks for sharing that. Let's write some more stuff down. You said the word opportunity, and I use that a lot, like in life, especially in the corporate world. And it's like wordplay, right? Like I have to know when to use it. I have to be aware of my audience, especially when I'm trying to partner and collaborate. When you're talking to salespeople, you're talking to vice presidents, you're talking to CEOs, and it's like, the one word I like to use a lot is we have a lot of opportunities, right? Because the wrong word used can put people on the defensive, right? So I try to use that as opposed to pointing the finger, right? Now I always open up and say, we have an opportunity here to get wins on both sides. So I appreciate you saying that. What I was writing down, extraordinary Keith, was you ever hear the phrase, this too shall pass? And I know Keith was talking about the hurricane. You do realize hurricanes don't last forever.
And that's right, brother.
It's going to sit there for a minute. But when's the last time that you heard a hurricane going on for years at a time, months at a time, weeks at a time? That hurricane moves on. And it moves to another region, another area, and it causes disruption in those certain areas, right? But again, it dissipates. We don't have to be a certain age to get to a certain middle part of our lives. When we talk about this middle here, that middle can be in different scenarios and situations throughout our life. Decisions that we have to make, choices that we have to make, habits that we have to break. It's not just from infantry to teenage to 20s to 30s to 60. That middle could be any part of our lives where we're having a challenge or, as we say, an opportunity to get better at something. I was thinking about this and I was like, sometimes we have to lose certain associates when we move past that middle part of our life. That middle part is when we come to a crossroads, some like to say a fork in the road, where we got to make a decision. Am I going to keep doing this, or am I going to keep high capping and procrastinating and high siding, as we used to say back in the day? A lot of people don't know what that means, high siding about what we want to do, but then we don't do it, right? Again, I still gravitate to the middle part. Does not have to be a certain age demographic. It could be in the choices and the decisions that we have to make. Sometimes that middle part requires us to be isolated. I remember when going through my divorce, I needed to be isolated for a little bit. Yeah, it hurt. I needed to get through it. I needed to moan, but I'm not going to moan forever, right? Because that doesn't help me out. So I had to make a decision, and I had to go through that middle part of my life at that point in time, 15 years ago, in order for me to get to that new season. Yes, like what you just said, Ladiana, different season. There's 4 seasons, right? So if the world goes through seasons, we go through seasons of life as well. But that middle part of isolation, sometimes we have to distance ourselves from people in a sense, right? You got to go in the cave. You got to hibernate. Or like me and Keith say, sometimes our hibernation was going inside the gym at 4:30 in the morning because we knew it wasn't going to be packed. So we had to go isolate. We had to go, as Keith's patent, got to get your mind right. A lot of us do different things to get our mind right, right? Again, it's that middle part. Middle part doesn't always have to be bad. So I want to make sure that the audience is aware of that. There's nothing wrong with the middle. What the issue is if you stay in that situation knowing that you need to get out of it. That's what makes the middle bad. Back to you, Keith and Larry.
But like you say, I don't believe it's all the same, the good, the bad, the ugly. The middle is a part of it. It's all a part of what you to mold you to who you need to be, to who you need to become, strengthen you. You know what I'm saying? I just say my worst times was my best times. I can agree that. I used to set it over my head like, how can the worst time be my best time? And when I went through cancer, I had so many great times in that. So many things that I saw in there that came out of that. My worst time was my best time. Losing my sight brought me to another person. My worst time was my best time. Now, in the middle, every say in our life, we go through things all the time. I agree with Vince, but it's different kind of middles. It's different kind of things. I think different kind of goals that we make in life. Some things, made goals and made aspirations, dreams, and we get there, and that becomes middle. But when things happen to us, like we say in a storm, that's something different. A storm that comes to us, and we be in a storm. I think I prepared myself for storms. Now, you can't. I want to say this the correct way to where I'm at now, to when I was young and dumb and didn't understand. It was always, why is this happening to me? I always came from a victim mentality. Now that I'm older, things happen. It's who are you after them things? Who are you, that person, when those things are happening? That's what I come now. Before, I came as a victim. I didn't understand. I thought it was just personal, like, oh, I did something wrong. There's got to be something I did to deserve this. And I realized in my lifetime, 58 years, that it's all in one. The good, the bad, and the ugly. All come. But are you prepared? In your lifetime, what have you learned from that? In your lifetime, someone that you've seen that came to your life, have you ignored that? What have you learned from that? And after you went through that, what can you help someone through it? What can you give? You know what I'm saying? I asked the Most High, why am I going through this? Why me? Why I'm losing my I've got cancer? Why I got stage 4? And that question that came to me, who you suggest I give it to?
Mm-hmm.
Are you prepared? That means, do you trust me that I gave it to you, that you are prepared and strong enough to take this? Or who do you think deserve it? I couldn't think of no one. No one I could think of. And now that I look back at it, as time go by and by, I was at the right place, the right time, and the right person. I was worked out, my body. When the doctor told me, hey, we can save you. You have no diabetes, no high blood pressure. You have look at your body. You've been fit, you've been hitting the gym, been working 2 a day. You can handle this surgery. So when you say the message, but at the time, boy, you could have seen me have a ball out crying, like, why me? Why me? Then I lose my sight. Totally different thing. You're going to trust. I trust that I can handle it. I'm built for this. I can be. Now, while I was in there, these things that was happening to me, I had to learn how to become different. I had to learn, like Stronell said, learn a whole new way of living, learn a whole new way of moving. Now I got this thing called anxiety. I'm anxiety. I'm anxious to certain things. Now I got to learn the way, when that anxiety hit me, what I got to do. I can't move. Now my family got to see me a whole different way. I'm not the same person anymore. I'm not the same. I got to accept that.
Yeah.
That's the middle. Now, once you get accepted, now you're in the middle. Now you go up to that next phase. But when they start off, you don't know what it is. Why I'm starting. The house is, like Sean said, the house is this amazing. But when you get in that middle, you start calming things, start getting calm and things. You start realizing, hold up. You need to find out, I can't last like this. It can't go on like this.
Mm-hmm.
Something different. Now that's when Sean was saying some people fall off. Some people stop. Some people give up. But you're right at the phase in that middle where you can go ahead and go farther past that. That's when you start figuring things out. You start saying, hey, I can overcome this. Hey, but I can't do it. That old person can't, won't, ain't. You gonna make it. I gotta review. I gotta, like Vince said, that butterfly. I gotta shed this cocoon and come out different.
Right.
That's what it's all about right there.
That's right. And this is why we have these topics and these conversation, friends, because we know someone out there, you dealing with it. You in the middle right now.
Yeah.
We're all in the middle right now. And you're trying to make a choice whether to even give up, revert back, because you know what's back there. You know the game. You're the winner back there. You're comfortable. And we haven't pressed this button, but I'm gonna press it right now because it requires pressing. Fletcher, Vincent, when you're in that middle, and you're not what you used to be, but just because you moved from what you used to be, it doesn't mean the people back there have moved from allowing you to move from them.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean just because you move, it doesn't mean. And that's a whole nother elephant in the room.
Whole nother elephant. Yeah.
And now you see this thing we're talking about, friends. It's a process. You're dealing with this process that you are on, and now you're physically, if you're retired, you're no longer going to that job. Now you're in that house. Man, the picture I'm trying to paint, it's a picture out there for somebody. It's a
But
picture
I'm
out
gonna say that I don't like that word. I'm sorry, cutting y'all. I don't like that word retire. I like that word transitioning,
transition. That's right.
transforming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like say we never retire. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
absolutely. You're right, brother. You're right.
And that's what's the problem is people want to think retirement to go on, like you said, and sit down and take a traveling and doing all these things. You know what I'm saying? But you really never you retire. I don't. You know, let me say this. My brother's retired. We had a whole conversation on that. But I said, man, you doing these things, you're not retired, man. You never retired. So I just think that's the wrong word we use for me. I think it transitioned to something else.
And well said, because when you allow yourself to let go to who you once were, you're going to find yourself more busier
Yep.
than you was
Where
when
we
you
were.
was on that job.
But it's
So
a different kind of work.
it's
It's a
a
different
different.
kind of movement. It's a different kind of thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not about to be like you think you're about to take trips and celebrate and all that. It's not going. You got to find yourself. You know what I'm
And,
saying?
and Fletcher. And so on that process, this new process that you on, that is a new part of you that the folks who once knew you didn't
Yeah,
see that part, but they don't want to let that new you come out the hole.
yeah. Because they see that they see you going to work. Exactly, and you coming in and seeing. But let me show you too both ways. You seeing some things that you didn't see in them years that you was working, and come
That's
on, now you
that's
seeing some things that you did not see.
you saying a whole lot. You saying a lot of
You
stuff you
seeing
didn't see
you
before.
seeing some cracks in the drywall. You seeing some cracks in the concrete. You know what I'm saying? And them cracks, and you like, man, what them cracks? Them cracks always been there. You know, you see them things. And then they see some cracks, and then you try to drop, and it's like sometimes you think it's too big, you set yourself trying to drown these things out. You know, some people, I'm not saying fall into alcohol. Some people fall into uh, drugs. Some people go to church. Some people go to casino. Some people try to go into these things to get overcome those things. I'm just saying we find ourselves in trying to fill those cracks up in different kind of ways.
Come back in here, Vincent. Talk to us.
Man, I'm about to exit out. It's 8:15.
Oh, it's that time. It's that
But I
time.
was trying to be patient, right? I was
Right,
Keith,
right, right.
Keith was sharing and had some knowledge to give, so I didn't want to interrupt it, man. But no, this is an excellent topic, man. It's just I have to be, as you said, disciplined, right? It's just I have to have that. I have
So well fitted. You have to be
Yeah,
disciplined.
I have to be
You did your
disciplined
part.
because if
Right.
I'm not disciplined, I'm gonna miss my opportunity, right? So, but
Yeah.
no,
Well,
this is good, man. It's. I want to read what Latiana says. She says, got to go through it to get through it." And then she also said, "The calm to the storm." And then she said, "Now you got to really be strong in your process and keep them where they at." Yes. So thank you for the feedback. Again, what we would like to hear from the audience is give us some examples of what you've gone through as far as your middle phases. Doesn't have to be a middle part in life, just some phases or some areas of your life that you've had to go through and make some decisions. I'll never forget what Selena said. Gosh, this had to be about a month ago when
Yeah,
I don't know if she said she was at work and she was about to make a decision and a choice, but then she kind of went back and did it the right way, right? And please correct me if I'm wrong, Selena, but you had shared that. Uh, but it's kind of one of those things, right? It kind of has to go with I don't want to do this anymore, right? I don't want to go that route. I want to do this the right way, right? So that's the example that I like to use because I like to pull some of the past historical what we call month over month then we get to look back at it from a corporate standpoint because we have enough data now to see where we need to change, right? To where you can forecast and make the right decision, right? So it's the same thing. So Selena, I apologize if I got that wrong, but I
Yeah.
was
She was
using
saying
you
about a
as an
job.
example. Yes,
She was
yes.
at a job, but she was going to lower standards
She's
and
gonna
take
lower
some less.
standards. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, but no, that's it, extraordinary, man. I was just trying to be patient, man, before I exited, man. So I appreciate that.
Let me
And
say
we
something
appreciate
there.
you too, Vincent.
Yes,
You
sir.
hear him talking about forecasting and things like so everything get back to the money. But he said forecasting, planning, corporate. Sure, that we were saying that one time. If we live our life like we live structure in a company, our life would be in order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We start adding that.
yeah.
Sure, that we say that. Remember we talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We,
Yes.
they give you SOP. They give you all these things, and we was to
All
take
these
all those things.
Hmm.
Add that to my. I got an SOP in my family. And I'm serious. I remember you said that some while years ago, Strand, and I started adding that to you. I started having principles and
Yeah.
values. Yeah, yeah. So that's what it's forecast. Go ahead and tell them what forecast. Before you go, what you mean by forecast?
Forecasting is when you start looking at the past patterns and trends as far as how the money has been made in, but you also know what the sales is supposed to be. You've had sales reps out there, so they have a certain amount of business that they see that they're going to get, right? So that's forecasting based on the projections of what they've done as far as being out in the field, signing agreements, signing contracts. Now we can forecast on how much money that we anticipate on getting over the next quarter, year, 2 years, things of that nature.
Now, don't they? You just did that with the company. Now, is that same thing as trading too?
Is that the same thing as
You
trading?
know, that trading too, you forecast a thing when you're trading, you forecast, you're looking at the company, what they have, all those things to make you, if you want to go ahead and buy a trade or build a trade. That's the same thing, right? Can you do the same thing when you're doing trades, right?
It has some similarities. I think with the trading, to me, the similarity that I would say is you anticipate the growth, but you don't ever know what to expect because if a payment doesn't go through, then what you forecasted doesn't necessarily like you sold it, right? You got the agreement, but the customer still has to make the payment. With the
Mm-hmm.
stock, it's a little bit different. You're still looking at past patterns and things of that nature. But again, anything can happen. COVID can happen, right? There's what they call like a black swan effect. Like anything from a catastrophe could change that. So there's some similarities to it. Yes,
Okay, I agree. So, but that's a part of life. What you just said, all that is life, right? So the same
correct.
thing applies. So in your life, personal life, same thing. You forecasting, and you doing all those same things. You can add that to your life too. You can't control the weather. You can't control the COVID. You can't control the government. You can't control the government. You can't. But you still got to forecast. You still got to plan. You still got to do the things. Correct?
Oh, yeah, you still got a plan because it's, but
Okay.
yeah, at the end of the day, God is in control. So it's like we can do all the planning we want, but if it doesn't align with what He wants, then He gonna change that.
Well, the ant ain't worried about what God. The ant is planning when it's summer, he worried about winter. When it's winter, he worried about summer. That's what the ant do. That's forecasting. See what I'm saying? So he don't understand. He can't control the weather. He can't control this. And God told him, gave him something inside him to say, "Hey, this is what you do, and this is what the whole crew do." You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying the forecasting. We can forecast. The storms are coming. The middle is going to be there, but you still have things that you have to. You're not hoping and praying that God work it out. You still got to forecast and do things that God gave you the abilities that you do. You have a mind, you have a system that God gave you that you have inside you. At the end, you have a system. In the summer, you're thinking about winter. In the winter, you think that's a system. And all of them is on that system and that forecast. And like we have a system to follow, principles,
Yeah.
SOPs, things that we can add and follow. When that messy middle come, when these things come in life, which
Yeah.
I didn't know about these things. This is what I'm trying to say. I didn't know I was blowing in the wind. And I know why I lost. I know, but as soon as I started adding those things, as soon as I started looking at all these things, like we get on here giving you these words about what we went through and telling you
Right.
these things, I started listening to people, mentor, reading books, listening to motivated speakers, add these
Right.
words, read the Most High. These things started changing my life. My
Right.
life got better. I
Right.
wasn't feeling that I was cursed, as you know. Well, I wasn't saying all those things. Things got better. So I'm saying these things we doing, if we still have a way out. And this is why we get on here every Thursday to give you a way out, give you a sense that, hey, you have a way. You don't have to
Right.
give up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. I was talking about the forecast. You still, I get in stocks. You do. I do
Remind you.
forecast. So that's it.
That's right. That's right. That's what we do. We come on to remind you. And Vincent, I know you got to run, brother. Thank you again, man.
Thank you, man. I know you have to go.
See you next Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, show Vincent some love.
I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna, hey, so now
Go right ahead.
he want to stay away from that money and get on them things. I'm about to get a show on him when they're on there. I'm about to bring him on the Blind Truth. We're gonna have to get him on a discussion, bring out that money. He want to keep that all to himself. He want to keep all that to himself.
I'm out. Later, y'all.
All right. Good night, Vincent.
He want to keep that to himself, man.
All right. Getting back to you, Keith Fletcher. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Vincent Craig, the man with the man who bring reason to chaos. You all heard him for yourself. He's such a knowledgeable person, and he brings so much wisdom to the show and to the platform. And we appreciate Fletcher and I appreciate his input so often. But we still got a couple of minutes here, friends, where we're talking about this uncomfortable middle. And Fletcher just interject money in the mix in the sense that, see, it's funny, isn't it? It's strange, Fletcher, how we can get the concept down from the job perspective. We go on the job and we realize that we have to set a budget for the whole year. You look at what you did from January to December, and you're doing this year after year. You know which month's going to be your high months, your low month, and you plan accordingly. You spend accordingly. You hire accordingly. So so to add me to what you were saying to Vincent, so what we do with that knowledge, when you implement the same program, the same system we did on the job, on those corporate jobs, if we would implement some of that in our life, in our home, perhaps we can have a more positive outcome, and we will realize, instead of being this victim mentality, oh, it's me, and you will understand that that's part of the process. If we would take time to apply that system in our home, in our own life, we would realize that, okay, this is, you're gonna have some drought season.
Mm-hmm.
Sales gonna be low during April, May, June.
Mm-hmm.
Things may start picking back up at the end of July. I mean, you can start seeing pattern if only we slow down enough to do this to ourselves and for ourselves. And this is why so many people say the word discipline will solve 80% of our problems.
Yeah.
Because we're not disciplined enough. Now, I'm not saying that to be negative, but that word discipline is not a beautiful word. I get it. But it's only not beautiful because we've heard that it's hard to be disciplined. See, we got to reprogram our mind ourselves. We have heard things that we have accepted and believe are negative. And I'm glad Fletcher pulled my coattail. Certain word, retired, that's negative.
Mm-hmm.
That's negative. See, we got a lot of words we don't even realize they were put there for you to be your stumbling block.
Yeah.
They was put there for you to keep you right where you are, to keep you what? Comfortable. Because if you're comfortable, you're not moving forward. If you're comfortable, you're never going to be. It's not that you want to be a threat, but you're going to stay right there in that square box where they know where. I mean, you don't have to live. We weren't born to stay the same. Nature grows automatically. We're more than nature. We're more than a tree. We're more than a grass, a flower, what have you. And it's continued to grow. It has a season where it doesn't grow, but it also has a season where it does grow. We get stuck in one season, Fletcher.
Yeah.
We got to get unstuck, man. We got word on the street community. Don't get stuck in a season. And another thing, man, before Fletcher you come in, I read this and I say, man, wow, this is deep. So I want to share with y'all, friends. If you're in a relationship, let's say you lost a relationship, or and you just you can't put it together. You see, sometime in the atmosphere in the world, it hear things that you don't hear. And sometimes people move because it may be making room for you so you can move on with your life because it knows some things that you don't know that would be beneficial for you to let it go. Let it go. Let her go. Let him go. Growth is also having the strength to let go so you can move forward. We keep holding on sometimes to people and things which keeps us where we were. And with the fear being this idea of just being comfortable in a area in a place that you've always knew. Yeah, that's cool. Growth is uncomfortable, but you don't know what benefits are waiting for you. You don't know what's waiting for you. So break the chain. Break the chain, brothers and sisters. Break the chain. Growth is out there. You don't know what's good is looking for you. What say you, my brother?
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty good looking for you, but you got to be aware of the good. The good is already inside of you. What do you want to do? The question is, what do I want to do with this? How can I find this? Is what I found. I found this right here. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy coming online. I enjoy this is a skill to do this thing. Everybody think they can get online and talk and do this and learn this stuff. I enjoy learning. When I first was told that I couldn't work anymore, my eyesight, man, I was lost. I was lost. And you start looking at it like this how it ends, this how it's over. I want to be useful. I'm a leader. No matter what no one say, I know inside of me here, I got more to give.
That's right.
Not just sitting home, not just going on a vacation, going on a trip, doing it. No, I got more to give. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Long
absolutely.
term. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I am with me.
Hmm.
I don't, you never, I look at Jews I would say that now, I look at them, Israel and Jews, whatever you want, and I start reading about how they this passage, they be consultants for the younger people. That's why the community is so strong. They don't never retire. They're consulting. They're moving. They're always talking. They're always encouraging. That's what we need to be more in our community. Advising the young, advising the one that we done went through this storm. That's what we're doing right now. We done went through the storm. We've been through divorce. We've been through sickness. We've been through death. We've been through people die. We've been through all this, and we can tell you this shall pass. We're not
That's
telling you what we heard. We're telling you what we know.
yeah.
So we know that things shall pass. Matter of fact, we can give you some advice, some guidance on how to help you pass even more, even swiftly. You know what I'm saying? How to carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? How to be disciplined on that job. To understand why I'm at this job for right now. This is where you at. But hey, why don't you do this while you at this job? Why don't you do that? Did you see it this way? That's what we're here to do with that. So that's what I try to give, man. And, I'm always gonna be sure I'm gonna find some kind of way to get you to the money. I'm gonna say this, man. I would listen to CNBC. 81% of people do not like talking about money. And I know, it was in the news, but I know it's a fact. Every time when you want to start talking about money, you see how Vince ran off of here. He don't want to talk about no money. But anyway, we like, because it's personal, we feel it's personal. It's not personal. These are, just like I'm telling you, if I went through a divorce, how to get through divorce. Same thing as money, but we tend to want to talk. We got to add that to the conversation. I would never stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? I would never, it's because when you start talking about it, because we don't know what it's used for. Just like we don't understand that covenant that I married when I was young, I didn't understand the covenant that I made with God and my wife and my friend. I didn't understand that marriage. I didn't understand. So why wouldn't I fail? She didn't understand. We failed. No conversation about it. No understanding about it. Well, we loved each other and that's going to make it work. Love is just not enough. Because these other things, that messy middle start coming. Keep
Mhm.
all these things. All these things start happening. The job, the money, the sick, all these things start happening. You start changing. And now you got to figure that out. And you're not equipped to. You have to study, you have a plan, you have a practice. That's what we talk about, that messy mental, but we can overcome it. And that's what we have people in our life when you start recognizing, we don't trust you on there, but because we don't recognize the right people to let in. You hear, don't trust nobody, don't tell no people your dreams. No, you don't tell the wrong people your dreams. So, but you got to recognize the opportunity, recognize the right people. And if you don't understand the right people, you're going to miss on something. You know what I'm saying? So awareness is big. You know what I'm saying? Understanding is big for me. So make things complicated, but the simple things, man, that's simplicity extraordinary. That's what I'm trying to get through simplicity. You know what I'm saying? Doing the steps, doing the work. I want to talk to my 20-year-old son, Selena. I thank you for letting me know my son is 21, letting him know getting up getting up, you can't lay in the bed all day. You know what I'm saying? The simple thing, your word means something. My daughter was telling me they did this thing. They were looking at one of the classes talking about this young man had robbed somebody, went to steal, and the old lady, they met the two guys, had the older lady, and they killed her. This man got a body and killed her. And my daughter was like, Dad, it was like, wow, but you say, now I know what you mean by if you lie, you steal, you kill. You know what I'm saying? Lie about something, and you go there off and then go to steal, you didn't plan on, then now you done kill. You didn't plan on killing nobody, but to hide that part, now you're in the situation. You know what I'm saying? These are things that been taught, you know what I'm saying? And she said, I get it. You've been saying it to me for years. My grandmother told me that. I didn't get it, but when you start saying it's situations that you're gonna be put in, and it starts to lie. You know what I'm saying? It starts, so we need to have people that come in that can give us guidance, mentors, and I think that's what it is, man. Us, what we doing right now, helping our community, helping people, telling our truth, not being ashamed, opening up and having discussions. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure these things out. That's what it's about, figuring things
That's
out.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. And here's what I want to add too, brother. We're Premier Word on the Street community. Keith Fletcher have a YouTube channel. It's called The Blind Truth. And he got a series he's working on. It's called the Financial Toolkit. He got some videos out right now and talking about money, talking about the ABCD, the layers, step 1, step 2. He walked
A
with you.
foundation
A
that you
foundation. He walked with you. He breaks it down. And see, this middle, this uncomfortable middle, like you said, see, money is all a part of it too. It's the whole pie. You see, the pie is just not one slice of just this and just that. It's all connected.
Oh.
It's all connected. And now here's the trouble, Fletcher, correct me if I'm wrong. From where I sit, most people get stuck in that middle when it comes to money. Again, like everything else, from my perspective, it's presented to us the wrong way.
Yep.
And many of us, we want the number, but we don't want the process. It's a process. You gotta have income coming in. With the income you have coming in, you got to get your credit right. It's a process. Getting your credit right. Then you have to have some type of security. You work on a job, they have security. They have security. You have to have financial security, a basement, so that what if? See that word, the what if? That's big. What if I lose my job? What if this that? So that security means you got something to sustain you for X amount. For some people, it's 3 months. For some people, it's 6 months. But you could get all of that, friends, on The Blind Truth. And what we're really saying, what we offering here on World Premier Word on the Streets, we're dealing with real life, where you are, where we are, the topics we talk about. It's about being better, step by step, brick by brick. And we're all on a journey. And we realize it's so easy to stay comfortable. It is so easy to just, you know, it's too hard. Making this change is too hard. And plus, if I decide not to, nobody would know. They used to me being who I used to be anyway. You'll keep more friends probably too. More people love you by staying the same. So, but we all have that inner thing inside of. We all have that compass inside of. And so that's what we're doing right here tonight. Want to get you out of that messy middle, that uncomfortable middle, and to remind you that uncomfortable middle, that's normal. But keep advancing, keep moving forward. You may not see it now, but if you keep digging, eventually you will see it. Talk to me, my brother.
Yeah. It's all about discipline, man. Everything come back to discipline, consistency, dedication, setting these goals and aspirations. And on here we talk about personal development, but we got to talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, we keep running from the truth. That's what you're gonna land on. So we talk about personal development for the soul, getting you tools to help you through this world, help you through this things that we call life. That's what it is about here, man. And we doing it with the conversation with Extraordinaire. We're doing it with the Blind Truth. We're doing it with World Premiere Word on the Streets. We're doing it on Facebook. We're doing it on our way, and we're trying to reach the masses and do our part, do our small part to help the community, to help someone, that one person. You know what I'm saying? That one young man. That for me, I want that young man that's coming out that door like I did, not coming out blind. I didn't come out like these young men did. These extraordinary events. I came out blinded. I came out just blowing in the wind, ready to charge, just not even thinking, just running into the fire. So that's it. You don't have to run into the fire. You know what I'm saying? You got to do a strategy before you go out into that fire. When they go, they don't just attack the fire. They see how the wind blowing. They get the water hose. They set up a strategy around the perimeter around it. That's what it says. Putting a moat of protection around you. That's what we try to help you with, to protect you. That moat of protection around you when that storm do come. That's what it's about. So thank y'all, man. That's what I got to say, Jordan. Hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Thank you, Jordan.
Right. I want to say something you said that, you look forward and coming on and doing your shows. And the reason that you do is same reason for me. Doing these things, it keeps you learning. You constantly learning more, so that when you come on, you have something to share and give, even from personal experience. But Fletcher always have his ears to the ground, getting new information, passing links on to others for you to check it out. Y'all need to hear this. And I love that. And that is the key to growth. You get it, you grow, you pass on, you have conversation about it, which is what we're doing here on the world premiere Word on the Streets. Thank y'all. Tonight, will you tell a friend to tell a friend, and we'll see you all next Thursday, same time, same place, live at the world premiere Word on the Streets.
And that wraps up another powerful episode of World Premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday evening at 7:30 Central Standard Time, and we'd love to have you join us again. So take a moment to subscribe, tap that like button, and become part of this growing community. Until next time, guard your thoughts, speak only what you truly want to experience, and stay laser focused on what matters. Your words shape your world, and your mindset fuels your mission. We'll see you again, same time, same place, right here on World Premiere Word on the Streets, where truth meets transformation. Stay strong, stay grounded, and as always, stay true.